My piano journey began when I was about 7 or 8. My parents surprised me with a keyboard that was waiting in our Christmas area, our Christmas zone where all of our presents were, and I took to it very quickly. Started taking lessons a couple of years after that. I actually spent a couple of years basically just teaching myself, improvising, writing music. This was before I was really good at music notation, but that didn't stop me from trying. Started taking lessons with a great jazz pianist. Was not a particularly good student, I will say, but I made my way and kind of really started getting serious about it in my late teens and decided that I wanted to go to college for it. And I did both my undergraduate and graduate studies at California Institute of the Arts in Southern California. I come from an improvisatory background as much as anything, so I really enjoy improvising at the piano, but then moved into playing jazz, learning jazz when I was younger, and playing classical, so I really enjoy playing all of those forms of music as much as possible. What I end up playing a lot these days is a lot of classical music, partially as a result of teaching, but then I really do like to jump into some improvisation when I'm able. Who are some of my major musical influences? Well, I perhaps obviously take a lot of influence from the major classical luminaries, composers like Mozart and Beethoven, Chopin and all that, but probably Bach is my go-to number one from that particular realm. I would play Bach probably all day, every day, if I could afford the time. In the jazz world, there are so many legends, jazz piano legends, from which I've taken a lot of influence, of course, including Bill Evans and Oscar Peterson, and more modern times, Brad Mehldau. Too many to name as far as all that goes. I'm also very heavily influenced by metal. Progressive metal. I came up listening to that and still really enjoy that, and that finds its way into my playing a whole lot. And I've also been recently getting into neo-bluegrass. What is my favorite kind of music to listen to when relaxing? Well, actually, historically, I have not been very good at listening to music when relaxing. I tend to get too involved with the music, and my brain wants to go to listening to the music instead of focusing on whatever it is that I'm doing. So it's a bit of a plight of the passionate musician, depending on how you look at it. We kind of always want to be in the music wherever that's happening, and for some people that means that they just constantly have music on no matter what they're doing. For me, because I tend to focus on things in a singular fashion, having music on was always a little distracting. I am getting better at that, I feel like, so I'm trying to push myself to constantly have music on, and when that happens, it's usually the kinds of music that I like. Have I ever been yelled at for practicing too loud? No, definitely never been yelled at for practicing too loud. However, that did not stop me from developing a bit of an addiction to the soft pedal on the piano, which is the pedal on your upright piano, which moves the hammers closer and makes it sound softer. This was not because I was being yelled at or discouraged from playing loudly. It was some sort of complex that I developed within myself regarding knowing that I could be listened to while practicing playing too loudly. This is something that I encounter in students quite a bit. Not so much that they're being yelled at or berated for practicing too loud, but they are lacking confidence for some reason that people are hearing them practice, and so they start leaning on that soft pedal. And it's kind of a sad thing. You should never be artificially diminishing your dynamics or changing your dynamics for the sake of your practicing habits. But it is a thing that I encounter every once in a while. A challenging thing, but definitely something worth moving beyond and addressing. One piece of advice I would give to new students is this: think big, but practice small. You need to have big goals when you're learning to play an instrument, and certainly learning to play the piano. Pieces you want to play, performances you want to do, genres that you want to be able to play. You need to have those big goals. But in a day-to-day fashion, when you are actually practicing, you need to focus on small things. Master those small things and piece them together with other small things that you've been working on to mastery or relative mastery, and that's how you build up your entire whole, as opposed to inadequately practicing too much, a broad scale of things, and stunting the development of your skills by never focusing on something to excellence. As I said, I came up as an improviser, and given that that might be a mode of playing that many of you are slightly less common listening to, I thought I'd give you a little demo.